I asked Mike Tyson to tell me what had happened.
Listen, Ed, you know, you're in prison. You're in something that's totally new to you. You know what I mean, on this kind of level. You get provoked. I was provoked. And I said things, and things happened, and I did my time for it. And it was it, and it was over.
Was there a lesson that came out of it?
There's some people in here that lie. You know what I mean? They don't look to the situation. You know what I mean? Because they have the authority, their way is the right way.
And you're talking about the prison guards who are here?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, there's people here that are good people. Don't get me wrong. There are good guards here. But you must think of the mentality that it takes for somebody that want to be a prison guard to have a dying thumb on somebody, to put their foot on somebody's neck. You know what I mean? It's the authority mostly, perhaps, just the authority, being under that kind of authority from a person, which, in my mentality, I would say this person wouldn't even clean my toilet. And then, of course, power is addicting. Anybody wants power, regardless of what kind of power it is. They want it, and I guess this is their way of showing their power.
How have you adjusted to losing power?
I've never lost my power, you know what I mean? Because my power was always in me. My greatest asset is me. It's always me.
I know some of your friends were concerned that you might face some danger in prison, that somebody who doesn't have anything to lose might decide that he's going to make a name for himself and take you on. Do you ever think about that?
Hey, can I tell you something? Why would anybody, you know what I mean? What would he gain by it? Say he cut my throat, he beat me up, he killed me. What would he gain by it?
You feel threatened at all?
Just by the fact that I know that I'm not the most popular inmate in here because, you know what I mean, I stand up for what I believe in, you know what I mean? I basically say what's on my mind, and from prior experience, I know that could land me in a lot of trouble.
What about the inmates? How have the inmates treated you?
I haven't had any problems, just, you know, sometimes when you walk, and you really couldn't understand this prison because this is not like a prison that you may think. You walk and people, like their homes, people be out the window, this and that to somebody, and you mother this and this and that and this and that. And one day, so I said, Mike Tyson, you effing tree jumper. And I didn't know what a tree jumper was. I thought he meant like I was a great athlete or something, like jumping out trees. And I was telling him, what's a tree jumper? He said, tree jumper's a rapist. You know, you wait for little kids to go by, and you jump out the tree and grab them. I said, oh, Christ. You know what I mean? I said, oh, I can't believe this. You know what I mean? And it just takes your mentality, and it puts you in a different assortment than anything else. There's no way I could have got it. How could I have got a fair shot? I mean, I knew I was innocent. I knew from court procedures and what was going on, but I knew when I was in that court and when I was going to get that verdict, I knew the verdict was going to be guilty because of the mentality of the court and the mentality of the prosecutor.
What did you think of the prosecutor?
The prosecutor, I thought he was a racist, weak, publicity-happy little weak man. And I just felt it, but I wouldn't, you know what I mean, I was always nervous and worried because I knew that it was going to take me away from people that I loved, but I was just prepared for it.
You were prepared to give it up?
It was something, you know what I mean, that couldn't be stopped.
When we come back, Mike...
Man, because it's not here. You know what I mean, people, they always put that, you know what I mean, they put that like that's a boundary on me. Well, Cuss will look at you and be ashamed. I'm my own man now. I'm me. I'm my own man.
Your finances, are you comfortable with your finances, your money, the control you have over your money?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? About a situation like that, when I was in this situation, no one never, you know what I mean, approached me with something like that before when I was out in the streets, you know what I mean? Now this is only a ploy for somebody to attack Don or do something like that. You know what I mean? I'm very happy with my finance. Just because someone else may not know anything about my finance or might come up with a sheet and say, well, he has nothing. And then next week they'll come up with a sheet. What happened to this money? They don't show no account of what happened to this 45 million or this 20 million. And now all of a sudden, I'm hiding money. And if I was hiding money, and if it's my money, I haven't stolen it, isn't it my business to do what I want with it?
Do you know what you have?
Well, I have a ballpark figure, yes.
And you know where it is, and you have control of it?
Well, like I was saying, it's my business, and no one else should worry about how much money I have. No one should worry about how much Donald Trump has. I never asked how much he has. I never asked how much the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds have, or Magic Johnson, any athlete by that. Nobody asks about that. Why all of a sudden they want to worry about me? by putting me in a situation, because the fact is, they can't take away, which I know, that I'm a great fighter. So they say, God, he's a great fighter. People admire him for that, but let's put him like, he's a great fighter, but he's dumb, and he's stupid. So, you know what I mean? He's nobody to look up to. But because that's okay, because only time will tell. I mean, that's just time will tell.
You mentioned Don King. What about Don King?
No, Don King is just like anyone else. Anybody else that's in big business. He's competitive. He competes with them. You know what I mean? He's the best at what he does, whatever it is. If it's, you know what I mean? He broke all the records, all the P.T. Barnum, Ziegfeld records. He, you know what I mean? He breaks all those records. And he's ornery and he's arrogant, you know what I mean? He says, well, he's not under control. You don't control him. You can't say, well, Don, you take this and you do this, but you got to take, you know what I mean? He wants the American way. He wants to get the equal share of the pie.
Does he take advantage of you?
Everyone uses someone. He uses me, I uses him. The worst thing, we never misuse one another. We respect one another. I never, Don is my man, and that's what it is to it.
Coming up next, does that automatically mean that she's agreed to have sex with you?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. See, this was a situation where we had discussed things that were going to happen, what we were planning on doing, you know what I mean? And we have discussed something. It's just something that's been discussed and planned, and you say, well, since she's going out, she has to do it. She can't eat a free meal. You give me like that ghetto mentality, of course, like when I'm stereotyped. She can't get a free meal without giving me something or something like that, which is, you know what I mean, it's just perverted. You even saying that to me. You know what I mean?
She has told her version publicly on television. What was it that made you feel that she wanted to have sex with you?
Well, as I was talking, we spoke earlier that day. We had spoke earlier that day, and we had planned on the situation. You know, everything was arranged, and then I seen her again, and it was arranged again. I seen her twice that day, and we, you know what I mean, we arranged it then again, and that's how I came to that conclusion.
There was no doubt in your mind?
In neither one of our minds.
Mm-hmm. Then let me just ask you to tell me, as you recollect, what happened that night? I
called her. I think she was tired or something. I said, don't worry about it. Just comb your hair and put water in your face. And I asked her to wear something short, like a short dress or some wide, loose, baggy shorts. And she came in the car, we kissed, and we were making out, okay? Fooling around, and then we drove right around the corner to my hotel room. We got out of my hotel room, we went upstairs, and we went in my room. So when I closed the door, we went in my room. We sat on my bed. She sat on my bed in somewhat of a Buddha position, you know, when the legs were crossed. And she was talking, and we started kissing. And she started pulling off her clothes. She was getting hot. She was getting aggressive. And we had oral sex, and then eventually we had vaginal sex. And